Today I have the keys to the 2020 Subaru WRX STI. Huge shout out to Randy Marion Subaru for providing this sedan for me today. Definitely check out their website, that will be in the description. This model here is finished off in ice silver metallic and it has an MSRP just under $39,000. Let's start off today's review by going up underneath the hood, where you'll find the 2.5 liter Boxer 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This model's paired to the 6-speed manual. It pumps out 310 horsepower around 6,000 RPM and 290 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. It sends that power to all four wheels. This model weighs in around 3,400 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in the mid 4-second range with a top speed of 150 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity just under 17 gallons, you'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 104.3 inches. Its overall length is 180.9. It has a width of 70.7 and a height of 58.1 inches. With all those specifications out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the exterior walk-around on the STI. I'm going to start up front here with the LED headlights and the LED daytime running lights. They have a very nice C-shaped pattern to them. They surround the headlights, just giving it a very cool look within the housing. We have the turn signal on the innermost side, and then down below you can see there are air inlets to help provide more cooling to the engine. We have some piano black trim pieces surrounding them just to match the piano black grille. It has a really nice design running throughout it. And then down below we have even more air inlets with some more color contrasting material just to give it a good look against the silver metallic. And then moving up to the hood, we have the functional hood scoop. This directs all the air to the top mounted radiator to provide as much cooling as possible. And it looks really cool. It has great styling and adds a lot of character to the front end. But now as we work our way to the side profile, you'll see the 19-inch wheels that have a multi-spoke design with a two-tone finish. And then right behind them we have the brake calipers finished off in a bright green. It matches well against the silver ice metallic. We have 6 pistons up front and 2 pistons in the rear. And then moving behind that we have the body colored side mirrors with the integrated turn signal. It has a really nice side profile design to it. There's a lot of great lines. Down on the lower side skirt there's a lot of contoured lines as well. You can see a distinctive line running from the front quarter panel just above the door handles all the way to the back taillight. And there's a really nice line above the front tires. You can see the STI badge just behind that with even more contoured lines. It flows nicely to the rear end of the STI, where we're going to start off with the massive fixed rear wing. It has a great presence to it and it looks really good on the STI. We have LED taillights, your backup camera, and then down below we have really nice slats in the lower diffuser and of course the quad tip dual exhaust. Let's go ahead and check out the interior on the WRX STI. I have the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket. I'm just going to grab on the door handle. You'll hear it automatically unlock. You can lock the vehicle from the door handle as well. As we look at the door panel now, you'll see there's micro suede on the armrest along with the insert behind it and red stitching. It gives it a really nice look. We have a piano black trim piece surrounding the grab handle along with your window and mirror controls. There's a chrome release handle just above that, and then this has a 7-speaker audio sound system. You can see there's a good amount of storage space in the lower section of the door. And then as we take a look at the door sill, you'll see STI along with the fuel cap release. And then moving on to the seats, they have a two-tone design to them. You can see more of that micro suede running on the inserts, and then really great leather bolsters with red stitching. We have the STI badge embroidered in the headrest. There's red seat belts, and then we have all the controls for the seat. They have a very nice look to them. And then taking a look at the steering wheel now, it's completely covered in solid leather with perforated leather to the left and the right side. More of the red stitching surrounds the inside of it, gives it a really cool look. It has a flat bottom design to it with the STI badge and a gloss black trim piece on the lower section. On the right side, you'll see the cruise control settings. On the left side, you have volume and tuning for the radio, along with your Bluetooth and voice commands. And then using these 3 dials down below, you can control some of the information in the gauge cluster. On the left side, you'll see the engine temperature and the tach. The right side has the fuel gauge, along with your miles per hour. If I click on the down arrow, you can see SI drive, which is one of the drive modes. We can also pull and hold I set, which is this middle button. Once we go into that, we have a lot of settings to go through. You can go through your screen settings, you have default settings, your rev settings, so you can go into that and change your rev indicator light. You can also go into your languages, your gear position indicator, along with your gauge movement. So there's a lot of cool information that you can go through. It's very easy to use. You have your traction control along with the release for the rear trunk. You have a dimmer switch for the gauges, another piano black trim piece. You can see one air vent. As we make our way to the center, you'll see this piece here is covered in leather and stitching. It gives great protection from the sunlight, so you can easily see the screen. You can look at your peak boost along with the outside temperature. There's a clock as well along with your acceleration. Very cool to see all that information. And then as we move to the center, you'll see 2 air vents and the 7-inch screen. Looking at the home screen right now, all you have to do is push on the home button on the side of the screen or on the top left of the screen, and you can view information from your phone. If you have Subaru Starlink, you can go into apps and view all of that information. You have the radio and media. There's also some blank pages, so you can add some more information if you'd like to. On the left side of the screen, you'll see phone and apps. You have radio and tuning on the right side. There's also a power and volume button. You have a CD player right in the center, and then more tuning on the right. Just underneath that, we have physical buttons for the AC. This does have a dual zone AC climate control system up front. You have the temperature for the passenger, which you can also see on this upper screen. We have temperature for driver, fan speed right in the center. It's nice to see these buttons are integrated inside these dials, just cleans it up a good bit. There's a nice size compartment down below along with a 12 volt. You'll see the STI badge along with some more piano black, and the leather and stitching continues on both sides, just giving it a really nice look. This vehicle has the 6-speed manual, as I mentioned earlier. You can see the background here is finished off in red to match the seats. If I pull on the release up underneath it, I can go all the way into reverse. You'll see the backup camera up here. It has really great graphics on it. You can also see the shift boot is wrapped in leather with more red stitching. Just behind that, we have some controls for the different driving modes. Turning this dial to the left puts us into sport. If you turn it to the right, we have sport sharp. There's an intelligent mode along with SI drive. And then just behind that, we can configure between automatic or manual with the differential, and you have plus and minus, so you can control the different settings and the different levels depending on how you like to drive the vehicle. Right next to that, we have the manual parking brake, and then if we remove this cover, that shows you 2 cup holders. We have the heated seat controls for both front seats just next to that. And then moving to the center armrest, if I pull on this latch here, you can actually raise the entire armrest just a little bit. So that's very cool how you have the option to do that. And then pulling on it up underneath, we can easily open it up. That reveals a 12 volt along with 2 USB ports, so you have a good amount of storage space along with the storage you have in the glove box. So there's a lot of room. You can see more of that black piano trim. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats. Note the red seat belts as well, gives it a really great touch. And then up top we have some dome lights. Moving to the back seats now of the STI, I really like how they brought all the red accents to the back seat area. We have the red seat belts, you have the red leather and stitching along with the material running down the inserts. It just gives it a very cool feel and ties in nicely. Talking about the amount of room that you have, I'm 5'10". I have the front seat set at my height, and I have plenty of room for my feet and my knees here and a couple inches above my head. So it's very roomy. You could have 2 other people back here with me. If you don't have somebody in the middle seat, you can pull this down. It gives you an extra armrest along with 2 cup holders, so you just have a little bit more comfort. And you do also have an extra storage pocket behind the passenger front seat. These seats also have a 60-40 split to them, so if I just pull on this lever to the right side of the headrest, we can easily fold that seat flat, and that gives you a little bit more versatility to throw in any larger items. Now to finish up with the rear trunk storage space, I'm just going to use the button up underneath the Subaru logo, and we can easily open up the trunk. You'll see there's a good amount of storage space. This one has a nice floor liner, so it just makes it a little more durable to throw in any items. When you have the back seats folded all the way down, you can see there's a lot more storage space for anything that you want to slide through. I like how on the right and the left sides it goes out just a little bit, so you have a little bit more versatility to put items sideways. This one also has the cargo net, so you can secure a little more items, and it's easy to close this up. Alright, so getting the Subaru WRX STI out on the road now. It's been a very long time since I've been behind the wheel of a WRX, and it feels good to be back. This is a really fun car to drive. I haven't put too many miles on it just yet, but right off the bat, I really like it. I love this interior with all the leather and the red accents. It just gives it a really cool touch. I love that center screen there too that I showed here earlier. With the amount of sun that we have for today, it's blocking it very well. I can easily read that screen and see everything from my boost gauge there to the PSI and the acceleration. So when you give it some gas, you will see that accelerometer there go up in the percentage, which I think is very cool to see. But so far, this is a very easy car to drive. Clutch pedal is super light. Rev matching the downshifts isn't that hard to do. The spacing in the pedals is not too bad. I wear about a size 10 shoe, and I can easily get my heel toe downshifting there. So I like the placement of the pedals. That is definitely very nice. but so far it's been a really smooth driving car. It's a little stiff over some of these bumps, but this is a sports car sedan. This is designed for being a really good family car, but at the same time you have all-wheel drive. You can take this in inclement weather. This is basically a rally car for the streets. If you're looking for a great family sedan, but you also want to have that sporty side to it, you have a really good vehicle right off the lot. You can, of course, mod these and tune them and get ridiculous horsepower out of these, but just as it is stock here, it's a really sweet car. I did look up a little bit more information on these center controls here. The C there means central or center differential. So you can actually put it into automatic mode or manual mode and adjust how you like the power to be sent from the front wheels to the rear wheels. So if you're going around some back mountain roads or out on the track and you want to dial this in, you have the option to do that. So when you're coming around turns, you can actually help prevent understeer just by sending or directing the power more to the front wheels, more to the rear wheels. So that is very cool to see. And then of course you have the other driving modes as I already went over. But let's go ahead and move on to visibility. With the massive wing that you get on the back here, I can actually see everything underneath it. The top of the wing is actually just at the top of my sight out of this rear view mirror, so it doesn't hinder your visibility at all. And then obviously looking over your left shoulder, you can see how that glass, same on your right side. And it's nice that you have a little bit of glass here in front of both mirrors, so you can actually see well on both sides and the mirrors are not in the way. But overall, very nice interior. I love how kind of simple it is on the inside, but it has everything you need. AC adjustments are very easy to use, and then you have all the information in the screen that you need. So now that we've gone over all of that information, we're just gonna give it a little bit of gas here. Nothing crazy, but we're up to the speed limit just like that. I know I talked about the clutch pedal feeling very light. These shifts are super direct. You know exactly when you're going into that next gear. And I like the fact too that there's a little bit of a notch when you go into the gear. So going from 6th to 5th here, a little bit of a rev match, and you can feel it engage into that next gear. I love when you can feel that in a shifter because it just gives you a little more confidence to know that you're right in that gear and you're ready to go. So go ahead and downshift here, coming around a turn, going over a bump there too, and then a little bit of gas, and we're back up to the speed limit just like that. It handles very well so far. I'm not out on any twisty roads for today, but you can definitely feel there's a good direct feedback from the steering wheel. And I couldn't imagine taking this out on some back mountain roads. You can throw in your friends and have a really good time. So it's nice how versatile it is. If you still want that sporty style to your car and one that's pretty quick. I'm not doing anything too crazy today, but from past experience and friends with STIs and WRXs, I know that these are very powerful, very quick cars, and especially having the all-wheel drive, you can definitely get all that power to the ground. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk-around review and test drive in the 2020 Subaru WRX STI. Once again, massive shout out to Randy Marion Subaru for providing this vehicle for me today. Make sure you check out their website in the description down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.